Yo, what is up? Good to see. It's your boy DillyD, aka the Milky Bar Kid, here hanging out for another episode of Grounded with DillyDave today. Certainly honored to be in the presence and to be beside somebody who's been a big influence on me, both in hip hop but all things life. Give it up for my dear pal, Petty Cash.
Bro, what an intro, man. What an intro. I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you. I love you. I love what you do for the industry. I just love the grind.
Man, when it comes to grind, you are one of the people that are on the forefront of it because, you know, what are you, 15, 20 years deep? Like, how deep are we? It must be, it's over a decade. It's close to a decade and a half, yeah?
More than a decade, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've been writing rhymes since I was in high school, man.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, we're talking at least 20 years.
Huge.
And, yeah, all I would say is it's passion. Follow your passion. I just did a post today about your it was a thing from the Bible where it says your dream will, or your goal, your vision, something like that, will make way for you. So yeah, like, man, follow your passion. Your passion, it's your dream, it's your goal. Whatever you feel like doing, you just follow it. That's what I represent. That's what I'm all about. And as you know, that's me, man. That's me down to a T.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's why I find for me it's very important to surround myself with those people who do have that passion and commitment to it, because not only is it motivating for yourself, but the longer somebody's on the path doing the thing, the more juicy and better and more manifested it becomes. Hey,
Well, it's the journey.
the journey,
Success is not
the end
the
game,
end goal. It's
end goal,
the
yeah.
journey. It's the people you meet. It's the things you go through, the lessons you learn. That's what I love about just following your passion. That's me down to a T, like I said. That's what I love doing. It's just like, yeah. And you're right. You're so right.
Yeah. So before we, because, Patty and I have these conversations so frequently. We've done like 50 of these episodes essentially between ourselves, but so we know where we could go and where it could end up. But before we really get into it, just quickly, obviously a great way to get grounded is to acknowledge the sacred ground that we're on. So just like to pay my respects to the Boonwurrung and the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Pay respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded, no treaty signed. And, we do hip-hop here. We're all about telling stories and sharing it through, a vocal tradition. So I think it's important for us to honor
Yes.
the old
Yes.
vocal traditions and
Definitely.
understand that there were stories here before we created our own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So, all right. Patty, I've known you for a good handful of years.
You're my brother, man.
You're my fucking brother too.
I love you.
Absolutely. I'm deeply in love with you. It's
Whoa.
it's
Pause.
okay, all right. I
Pause.
shouldn't have said deep.
Like, I mean,
Okay.
like, this is where
Well,
it's necessary to say pause. We gotta pause. If you had said that and said pause, it would have been a whole different dynamic.
I wanted to run with it. I wanted to run with it the whole way, There was no
Let's go.
pause.
Let's go.
So, people who don't know you and your music, people who aren't privy to you, how would you kind of explain or break down, you, what you're doing in the scene and what's the kind of the vision for you at the moment? What are you pulling yourself towards?
Man, I'm putting myself towards greatness. First of all, I believe that
Huge.
whatever you're doing, you got to be aiming at being great at it. It doesn't matter like who you are. It's not about it's not an ego thing. Definitely not an ego thing. It's just you want to be the best version of yourself and be one of the best at what you do.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we consider that greatness. So,
And that means something, right? Like seeing greatness or experiencing greatness is something that's very fucking tangible, full on, and it's a really full body experience, hey?
yes, indeed, definitely. Because the thing is, greatness is, to me, living your best life. And the best life you can live as any individual is living a life that gives, that provides, that helps others. Because life is coexistence. That's what me growing up as a human being, life is coexistence. The plants, the earth, everything is helping each other. So help where you can. So it's coexistence. It's doing what you do and inspiring others to do what they do. So that is me. That's what that's what I do. That is what I aim to do, which is try and inspire others by being the best version of me.
And also, I mean, you do music, and generally what music is a service to the community. It's something for the community to share and partake in and enjoy on so many different levels. So having a passion or a goal or a vision that's kind of aligned with, some kind of service with the community is so ideal, because, the people and the place around you is that's the world. That's your world.
Yes, definitely. Man, I aim to live a life that's like inspiring my nieces and nephews and anybody out there, inspiring a younger me, basically. So when I was 17, 18, trying to make it in the game, and I knew nothing.
Yeah.
When I would say I want to make it in the music industry, it was insane. It was crazy. It was a crazy thing to say. That at some points I had to hide it from certain people. But
because they would discourage you or not believe in you, or
it was unheard of. It was definitely unheard of.
So it was an outcast type of thing.
But it wasn't impossible.
Right.
Because now there's so many mediums and platforms and places where you can thrive and kill it at whatever you do. Whether you sing, whether you rap, whether you draw, whatever you do, there is a platform now. So this is why I'm here. This is what I'm doing, which is doing what I do to inspire everybody out there to do what they do.
Was that the original intention coming into it? Talking about the 16, 17, 18-year-old you.
Fuck no.
Right. So how did we get there? Where did you start, and how did you come to... I know there's, so many years in there and so many stories, but...
Your passion is greatly related to your growth. Whatever you have in your heart as a kid is related to what's going to help you grow in life.
Right.
And you may start it for the wrong reasons. When I first started, I wanted to be like every other rapper. I wanted to be like my favorite rappers who, as it seemed, like they had all the girls, they had all the cars,
cool
all
shit.
the shit. And it's like everybody wanted to be like them. But as time went on, I grew with the game. I grew with the passion, and I became this person who now I just want to grow and help others grow.
Was there, when was the moment of no return for the music thing? At what stage, and maybe it happened a couple of times, but at what stage was it like, you know what, I'm pretty much all in. I have to have this as a part of my life, and I have to incorporate it in what I'm doing. All right, we had to do a quick lighting change, because one of the key things we're trying to do here is create great, if not perfect, frames. And you could argue that the green screen...
It's because I'm black.
It's because he's black, and we were losing him. We were losing our boy Patty, and we were really getting right into it.
It ain't a racial thing, but it's because I'm black. Yo. It is what it is.
It is the only struggle that we've ever had is the pigment difference, really, right?
We all people.
Yes.
We all people.
Yes, we are. I can't laugh at that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Some people got good sides. I got good lights.
You got all your sides are good. All your sides are good.
Now I think you're coming on to me.
Okay.
God damn it.
I'll come off.
You got to learn to pause, man.
I can't pause.
You're not pausing. You say that.
I
and
can't
say
pull
pause.
out.
Say pause next time. Fuck. Damn. This boy be wild.
Let's bring it back to where we should be, which is, what was the point of no return for you? At what point was it like, you know what, this is it. I'm all in. I have to do this.
Craziest thing is, it was the lowest moment of my life.
That's
when I
actually
felt
crazy.
that I lost everything. When I felt I lost everything. And that was the only way. There's one of the books I read from Napoleon Hill where he says that, what's he say? There was a general who took his soldiers to war. Yeah, he took his soldiers to war, and the first thing he'd done, once all the boats were set, and everybody was off the boats and on enemy territory, he ordered someone to go back and burn all the boats, and then he told the people, turn around, that's our boats on fire. The only way we get back is if we win.
The stakes for everything.
Yeah.
Just point like this. Point the mic.
So it
this
was
way.
a point in
right
my life where
Betty. Point the mic like right. Yeah, that's the one.
There was a point in my life where I'd lost one of my fucking closest friend. Rest in peace, Scientific. I love you, and I'm gonna keep the promise. I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look after you girls.
R.I.P.
But yeah, I just lost my boy. I just been in a breakup, lost the job, and the only way I was gonna do something with my life, make my mama proud, make my daddy proud, look after the people I love, was music. So yeah, that was about some few years ago, because I've been doing it as a hobby. I was doing it for a while, but there was just, I had other options, what I could have done in life. And when I came to that point, it was make it or don't. Yeah.
Make it or there's nothing else.
Yeah. Which is why I respect 50 Cent. Like, it's like, you got, like, 50 Cent's like some kind of genius. Like, it's like, when he said, get rich or die trying, that's the only options you have. That is the only options left. You either make it or you die trying. Right.
And even dying trying is not a bad outcome, right?
It's very, very admirable.
Yeah, hard. And arguably a more common outcome and journey for most people, right? Because they will try, and maybe pretty hard, maybe not so hard,
I wouldn't say they don't make it.
Everyone makes it in a particular way.
We said before, it's about the journey, my bro.
Right.
The journey, just to be a part of it.
Right.
That's what makes everything special. Because when you live your life in this music, you do different shows. You meet different people. You engage in different things that you never thought you would. It's better than playing it safe, doing a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, wondering what you could have done. Thinking, if I'd followed my passion, followed my dream, what could I have done?
Because it's always going to be in the back of your head. That's the other thing about it, like a passion or whatever. It's actually not going to go away or dissolve. It will always be in the back of your head, right? I think that's what a lot of creatives deal with, whatever they're into.
Your passion is God talking to you.
Yeah, well said. And that's actually how...
It's God talking to you. He's placed you here. But and when I say God, I'm not talking some bearded, white-haired spiritual individual sitting
like
up in the air. Yeah. Well, you are God. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everybody's God, and they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like
There
everybody is a manifestation of God.
Yeah.
Everything is a manifestation of God. Everything is God. God is everything.
Mm.
So, yeah, like when you look at it, it's God's way of talking to you,
Right.
telling you what you should be doing, what you could be doing. And that's when depression happens, because depression is that gap between who you could be and who you
Where you-
shouldn't be.
yeah,
And
where you
who you
are,
could
yeah.
be is saying, hey, you could be doing this right now.
Yeah, it's
You
always
could be doing
calling
this
from
right
that spot.
Yes.
It's so true, and that's an incredible thing to identify or kind of articulate or highlight is the connection between like depression and you and your goals, passions, and your actual outcome, like what's happening real time with you in that moment. And it's funny because the longer you don't do anything about it, the longer that depression sustains. And I've often found when I'm in that space, the first step out of it is the most powerful.
It's about movement.
Yeah.
It's about movement.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're depressed, something as little as getting up out of bed and making your bed
Yeah, or taking
makes
a leak.
massive difference.
Yeah.
It makes a massive difference.
Yes.
taking a leak does, but
No, I know what you mean
something's-
about the bed thing.
like,
I think that's a
just
great example.
making your bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's very Jordan Peterson, this whole idea of like setting order to your life around you,
that's exactly. That is.
But I think it's powerful and it's very actionable and it's very effective in those times.
That's one aspect. Like, it's when you make your bed. That's one thing done.
Yeah, exactly.
That is one thing done.
You've ticked something off the list.
So that is one thing that is okay in your life.
Right. And it's better to have one thing than no things.
Exactly. And then the next thing, you'll probably brush your teeth.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's another thing.
Right. You're considering the next step
My
then.
teeth are clean.
Yeah. I might go out now.
I might as well jump in the shower now.
Yeah.
You jump in the shower. That's another thing. You know what I mean? And then you clean your space.
Yeah. But you got to start there at the bed,
gotta
right?
start. You got to start. The
Yeah.
hardest thing about anything is the start, bro.
Totally.
The start. You got to start this shit.
Yeah. Man, the amount of things that I have started, it is just unbelievable.
You don't even have to finish. You just
Yeah.
got to start.
I think so. For me, like, in terms of making things, even writing or, we do music, so I guess like writing bars or hooks or whatever it is, like, the more you like make a start at a thing, every single time you try and write a verse and you get down one bar or half a bar, that's,
Yeah.
that's like a measurable percentage of the way through. And even if you don't finish that task, there's this carry on residual, like that half bar could actually start something else that you might get closer to finishing. you know.
Bro, like, what most people, and I'll tell it here on this podcast, on since we're grounded,
Let him hear it.
I've got a past where I used to be an actual gangster. Everything that people rap and talk about, I've been through it. You know what I mean? And this is not a flex, because like when you actually been through it, you don't flex about it.
I guess you have to suffer the consequences.
Once you lived it, you don't want to talk about it. And I done been through it. Like the jail phase. I spent 2.5 years of my life in jail. Like, no, 3 years of my life in jail. Because I got breached on parole, so I had to go spend another 6 months. But it's about, I don't know how to put this, man, but
Hey,
when
take your time.
when you're at your lowest, is when you see things from a whole different perspective. I feel like sometimes God will strip you of everything. Everything. So you can see.
I mean,
so you can see him.
that's being humbled, right?
That's being humbled.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, well, not so funny, but a couple episodes back with Ruckman, he was talking about it as it's the exact same concept, but in the context of the rap battle scene. He was talking about a particular MC that needed to be checked, I guess. In battle in front of people, or whatever. But they got to a point where they kind of needed a bit of a reset on their ego, right? And that's what humbling is,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And I think it's funny because sometimes life or God or whatever will kind of force you into that situation. But I think there's also things we can do to consciously strip away that kind of stuff to work on what's really kind of important, right?
You know what's crazy about it all?
Like all of it?
If you say, here's the thing, this is what I've noticed. If you walk around saying, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, or I'm a good person, I'm a Christian, or I am whatever, you're going to get, life will put you on the stage in front of everybody who you told that shit.
Right.
So if you're a gangster, now be a gangster.
You'll have to answer to it.
You know what I mean? It's like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He came out, he's like, I'm a gangster, I'm all about it.
Right.
And then, in front of everybody, he got put on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which is, the epitome of gangster is, you don't tell. You don't fucking tell.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had my homie, he ended up doing 10 plus years. We call that a brick in Sydney. And he was offered 65% of his sentence to talk about somebody that he knew. And he came, I was in my cell. He banged up on my door. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Scientific. I love you, brother. Like I said, I look after you girls. Banged on my door. You're not supposed to do that. We're in the same wing, but he came banged on my door. He's like, hey, yo, you know what just happened to me? I'm like, what? He's like, that was the cops. And they offered me 65% to talk about somebody. And I told him to get fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A couple of days later, I have a thing with my barrister. He says, they had a fucking meeting on your boy to talk about somebody. And he told him to go away. But none of those nice words. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, before we drift, that was his stage.
Yeah.
Where are you who you say you are?
Right.
If you say, I'm a lover, you're going to get put in a situation where you're going to have to fight. Right.
Yeah, I think it's very much this idea of show don't tell, and it's a cinema idea. It's a idea across many different
connect. There's a deeper thing going on right now. Something deeper. Connect with the depth. Don't. When you connect with the depth, then you don't think so much. And you don't talk so much.
Yeah, you gotta, right. Connect to the depth, the essence, like the core of what that thing is. And I think it's a very interesting example of, saying you're a gangster and then having to answer to that. And sometimes, if you announce that you're a gangster to the world, like Pettikash 6ix9ine, you'll have to answer to the world about that statement. But if it's just in your local community, then you will have to answer.
That's
why
I was going with the whole
community,
Pettikash thing, because it's like the gangster code is don't snitch. Now, here's the thing. Some people are like, oh yeah, that's too hard. Like, what? You're going to do time over another person. But here's the thing, man. It's an unspoken code that And snitching to me is not taking responsibility. Because if I come to you and I say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and E, I need to be a man of my word.
Yeah.
And if you're not a man of your word, that means you're going to back out of so many responsibilities. They're the same people that back out of fatherhood. They're the same people that back out of fucking anything. It's like weak men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they run away. You know, I mean, life's hard for everyone.
Man, like,
right?
that's what I mean. If I spill something on the carpet right now, you ask me, did you spill that? Now, a man is going to say, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
You're going to come out and say, yeah, I did. Because and then that's that.
Right. Exactly. It is pretty much.
But then if I say, nah, I didn't, then there's this whole, like,
it's weird energy.
It's weird energy. It's disrespect.
Right. Like, now I don't know if I trust you or respect you or should even be around you because you're spilling shit on the floor and not talking about it.
You're not gonna say, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just gonna fess up to your shit. You're not gonna own up. You're not gonna own up.
And it starts with shit on the floor.
Little things, the tiniest things in life, man.
And then they'll start fucking stacking.
Man, people are very easy to understand. You look at them, just watch. You watch. And like this one of my favorite things is like, you know what? I love to just let people, like, you know when people think they got you fooled, and then they'll play a game, and it's like you just let them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When you play dumb, it's like they relax, and they get sloppy as fuck.
And they get cocky as well because they think they can get away with something.
You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Like, it's like, I just reached over, grabbed a sip of your drink. Oh, yeah, he didn't see that.
Right.
Grab it again. Yep. The next time.
The third time, yeah.
Like,
right, it's gone, and I'm asking questions.
But like, I'm going to make it so obvious, but you know what I mean? I'll make it so obvious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because it's not that I'm trying to show it, but I've gotten comfortable because, oh, no, he doesn't see what I'm doing. And that's ignorance is bliss. In a fucking way.
Yeah, temporarily. You know, it's always ignorance is always temporarily bliss for sure. It's the thing is, you know, once you start lying to other people or yourself, there's not that much time between when it actually catches up to you. It's so short. I mean, I've fucked with this all through my life. You know. Lie a little bit, then bam, snap. It's like,
we learned the hard way, brother.
Fuck.
Bro, you're my brother. I love you. It's like we learned the hard way.
Yeah.
And I've lied to people. And what I realized is whenever I lied, I just fucking, you're in a hole. And then before somebody flashes a light on you, you dig deeper.
Yeah, or it's like a misdirection. You know, you're trying to like kind of throw them off course,
like,
off sight. Yeah, exactly.
Every lie,
you are in a hole in those
The
moments.
only thing that can back up a lie is more lies and more lies. You're trapped, man.
Our memory isn't that good to juggle that many lies.
I was reading Jordan Peterson. I think it's like the rules to live life.
12 rules to
12 rules to live life. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a chapter where it says, always tell the truth.
Yeah.
Or at least don't lie.
Yeah.
And he even goes on to say, lying is one of the direct paths to hell. Hell being hell on earth. You live in a tormented state.
Where we don't know.
State.
Right. We don't know up from down. There's nothing that's, ordered or it doesn't make sense.
That's why responsibility is a big thing.
Yeah.
If
you
spilt the fucking drink, you say I spilt the fucking drink.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're gonna lie. You're just gonna fucking trap yourself for more lies.
It's horrible. I've been in that situation so many times where I've accumulated a whole bunch of lies.
Yes.
And then, it's so funny. Like the first one doesn't really hurt too much, but as soon as you get 20 deep, it's like, oh god, where's the reset? And that is when you do need an ego reset,
Man, and then it comes to a point where you gotta look in the eyes of somebody you love.
Yeah.
somebody you care about, somebody who loves you.
Yeah.
And then they say, and tell that same lie again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to be checked.
And that's like,
Yeah.
that's one of the most horrible things I as a person have ever done. And it's, yeah. So now it's easier. It's so much easier. Don't lie.
It's funny
Don't
because
be deceptive. Take responsibility for your actions.
yeah. How many times have you had this thing where it's like, okay, there's been a fuck up, I've fucked up, and now I'm choosing to tell the truth, and obviously I've got the bad feeling that's kind of connected to that, where it's like guilt or whatever you've done, but then as soon as those words have released your mouth and you've told this other person the actual truth, even though temporarily in that moment maybe you thought you could have got away with lying.
You know that's the end of it. You know that's the end, right?
Dude, that's it.
That's it. It's done.
It's fucking done.
It's done.
Yeah.
This is the worst of it.
Yeah. Right. It's literally only up from here
They might
now.
punch you in the face. They
Yeah,
might-
exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's like,
Exactly.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. We're done now.
The burden is instantly
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. You know what I mean?
That's-
Because nobody's perfect.
Yeah, right. And yeah, as long as we all have that conversation with each other together, right?
Man, we are all here trying to figure out what the fuck happened and what are we doing on this big blue rock we just fucking
Yeah.
happened to fucking show up on out
Yeah.
of some woman's womb.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? Like our mothers, like, I mean, we love our moms. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying some woman, but it's like,
No.
like
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
talking about just generalization.
I get it that the throwaway statement wasn't taken to heart of all women.
Love you, mama.
Love you, mama. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting for me, like, as you grow up, or as you spend more years on the flying water rock planet, it's crazy that there is this inherent power or energy or thing to truth, to real speech, to proper articulation of who you are and what you're doing and why. Like, how do you do you incorporate that kind of stuff into your writing? Are these things that you're really imbuing in your music and kind of always working with?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, in my writing and how I approach things. That's why, if you listen to my raps like 10 years ago, that shit was all gangster glorification.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's about having a good time, vibing, and there's nuggets of wisdom in there. Because, yeah, you just gotta tell it how it is. There is no, you can't fantasize about gangster life. There is no beauty in it. There is no beauty in it. I don't care what any rapper or anybody tries to tell you. There is no beauty in it. Living a life where you could get locked up, killed, or even kidnapped, whatever, any second is insane.
That's pretty wild. I think the people who enjoy that music are probably relating to the pain of it, right? And I think, sure, that pain can be the start of a place of healing from both the artist and the audience member, but it can go both ways. It can continue to, like, obviously perpetuate the
People
the
sell
same
the
shit.
pleasure.
Yeah, okay. So it's like this glorified pleasure-pain kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A drug dealer is selling you
It's an image in a
the
sense.
hype.
Yeah, the hype. Yeah, right.
But they'll never paint you the full picture that you're gonna
Right.
be hooked. You're gonna steal from your family. You're gonna do all this shit. You're gonna hurt the ones you love.
You'll lie lots.
Yep, you lie lots. Again, direct path to hell.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think I used to be a lot more apprehensive about, believing in God and, these ideas of heaven
God
and hell.
is real.
But I think even for example, you don't necessarily believe in God. These ideas of heaven and hell and the paths to both of those places are so real. These lived experiences has happened billions of times over and over and over, and it's the same patterns that arise. A few lies lead to a terrible place, and if if you're accountable and responsible and disciplined and have some kind of passion or something and follow it, despite hardships, that is, that's where the satisfaction, and it's not happiness that we're chasing, but it's this fulfillment.
It's
It's
the
something.
journey,
The
bro.
journey, yeah.
The fucking
Being
journey.
engaged in this thing, or most days of your life, and having a reason to be around.
Man, me enjoying music and loving music and learning how to write and writing has led to me, from sitting at my mom's house listening to Obi Trice albums to performing with Obi Trice, toasting drinks in the green room.
Hey,
You know what I mean? It's that journey. It's the people I've met. It's being able to just sit here with you, for instance. You know what I mean? We've had so many great experiences, like
hey.
off camera. Pause. See.
Yeah.
I utilize the pause.
I'm trying to learn. Okay. God damn it! I gotta straighten up this game.
Damn.
It's a fucking problem.
Yeah. Otherwise, it comes out. Yeah. It's just not. Yeah. But no, honestly, like we've had great experiences, and we've to each other we've met so many amazing people.
Yeah, we're connected to such a incredible community. Such
Melbourne,
it's
Melbourne
not even
network.
just a talent pool. It's just a incredible people pool.
Great group of people.
Yeah.
Great group of people, and we're on the same mission.
Yeah, so most of us, are really doing exactly what you said. We're engaging with music in some kind of positive way, trying to, not only follow our passion and what we're into, but we're trying to like give some kind of service back to people. I mean, when I go and perform in front of a crowd, I'm not really there for me. It feels a lot better when the other people are fucking really enjoying themselves. That's where the enjoyment is. I don't mind doing my music stuff alone, but the biggest deal is when you can bring it to other people and they fucking
When you can share it.
jump. Yeah, exactly. It's the share factor in that room. And like, honestly, I truly believe that if I got 1 million streams in any of my tracks, it would never feel as good as performing in front of a dope crowd that gets my shit and we're all vibing. That's what it is.
Man, I remember performing for Mercules. And shout out to Mercules. Shout out to Patrick. Thanks for putting that beautiful night together. I remember walking onto the stage. DJ Dano, shout out to DJ Dano. Me and DJ Dano were actually working on some shit.
Cutting and slicing.
And I remember walking onto the stage, and there was all these people, and they weren't there to see me. They were there to see Mercules.
Hey.
And when I walked on, they had this look of, who are you? Halfway through my set, they were high-fiving me. I had people with their hands up on stage, like, yo, give me some of that. And
they were on board.
Man, this is some shit I wrote while I was sitting back at home.
Yeah.
And I can get all these people to have a good time. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. That's why, take it back to what I was saying before. You never not make it.
Yeah, right.
Here, some people consider making it having $1 million in the bank and all these houses.
Yeah.
You never not make it. You might not be where you want to be, but you live the life that you want to live.
Right. You were a performing artist. You were a rapper. You were an MC. You were a singer. You were an entertainer.
Those people that tell you, just get a job, sit behind a desk, work for 40 years.
Yeah. That's not movement, right? Like for us, I guess that's not movement.
If you can look back at life and say, hey, live 10 years, perform different stages, write tracks, meet some awesome people.
Yeah.
Or live 40 years, sit behind a desk and do what everybody else is doing.
With pretty much the same people or copies of the same people. And you can't even fucking like really talk and, talk shit and have good banter in a lot of these offices. You can't even be you.
Be real.
Exactly. That's actually, it comes back to like that whole truth, honesty kind of thing. Like if you can't be your authentic or real self in those spaces, then you're actually getting paid to not be you. And it's kind of wild, right? And I think,
And they encourage you to not be you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they discipline you for being you. I mean, they just fucking fire you. But
How dare you be you? How dare you be you?
Yeah, it's kind of insanity. And look, the reality is, most and many of us will engage with whatever work or job we have to do to keep the passion going. That is obviously the reality that we all balance and we do. But
should we take a break?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that it's way easier to do that other job if you're fucking dabbling with that passion.
It's
a little bit.
It's easier.
Takes the edge off.
It's easier on a social status, but
yeah, right.
Within yourself,
you're
like
sacrificing.
I said, this is where depression happens.
Mm.
Who you could be, who you want to be, and who you are. There's this massive gap, and who you want to be is standing there like, you're fucking up. That's the real you. That's the real you.
True.
You, no, you're not getting it. You're supposed to be standing here.
Oh God, I feel so bad because I can see myself, over there, making that same call.
But okay.
I'm just saying that it's real. Like it's resonating with me. Like I feel that, and it's like more encouraging than discouraging. But it's certainly a feeling.
Yes. Like I'll be sitting here like there's places I could be. Like it's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. That is what helps us evolve and keep pushing.
Yeah.
You need to keep seeing yourself as who you could be.
Right.
But if you're not moving towards that, you're going to get depressed.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
You can lie to yourself and say, "No, I got a great job, man. I got great work, man. So we live it. It's good, man. I got a great wife. I got great kids."
Mm.
You're not going where you're supposed to be going.
Right. And you're not forgetting about it
The
either.
real you is going to be talking to you the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Yes, you got 5 kids and you're doing great. But.
Mm.
And then people trying to ignore that shit. And there's that disconnect. And then you end up in a slump.
True. Huge. Well, we'll take a little siesta, and then we'll come back and we'll fucking talk about the future and wrap her up. How does that sound?
Sounds sexual.
All right. Well, let's not make it sexual. Pause.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, back at it. Full addicts of the podcast and deep share situation. Obviously, DillyDave and Pettikash doing a cool little back and forth here. We're on the home stretch, if you will. So, Patty, talk to me. What are you working on at the moment? And actually, before that, tell us a bit about your most recent release with Chubby Dice. What have you popped out?
Top shutters.
Hey.
Shout out to Chubby Dice, my brother, my brethren. Wagwan Miyut. Yeah, it's my boy right there, man. Like, yeah, like I've always been a fan of the dancehall. I've always wanted to do a dancehall track.
Yeah.
And Chubby Dice made that shit come alive, man. He made that shit come alive. We did it. We really did that shit. Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's available everywhere. Video's gonna be available soon. We're gonna be shooting a video. Yeah, Top Shutters is out everywhere. Just Pettikash, Chubby Dice, CHUBY Dice. Yep. And hey, yo, my boy got dance schools too. He's got dance schools, man.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he be doing dance schools.
Here in Melbourne?
Here in Melbourne, Tasmania, all over Australia. This guy be traveling, man. Like, it's like, everybody I'm working with grinds like this. 6 of them.
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy is everywhere. I'm like, yo, Chubby, that's where you at. I'm outside, my G. Man, yeah, he outside for real.
But also,
Chubby Dice, I see you. Love you, family.
hey, how'd you link up with him? How do you guys know each other?
Shout out to my girl Candace Rose.
Hey, okay.
She linked us up. We got to vibe, and then man, it's like we're recording at our studio, Sawtooth Studio. Reach out to Sawtooth Studios. We got a studio out in the east, so if you're in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, you need to record some shit. Holla at Sawtooth Studios. We got you. Mixing, mastering, beats, everything. We can get an artist from, hey, I'm just sitting at home. I don't have anything to do. I'm just writing rhymes. I got all these rhymes. We'll get you a beat. We'll get you some recording time.
Hey.
We'll get you mixing and mastering. We'll get you some promo. We'll get you on Spotify. We'll get you all that shit. So
It's the full solution.
Sawtooth Studio. We are the solution.
There it is. That's an open invitation from Sawtooth Studios.
Sawtooth Studio. We're reaching out.
Cool.
Yep, yo. This is facts. This is factual. Anyway, Chubby came. We recorded. Yeah, and then this cat just changed clothes on me. He's like, hey, yo, we're going to a festival. You want to come too? I'm like, yeah, I'm a slide dude. Call me in. And this cat's got dancers around him, man.
Wow.
They're all dancing and shit. I'm like, oh, god damn. You get down.
That's powerful.
Chubby gets down. You know what I mean?
Hey.
You'll see on the Top Shotters video, man. You'll see him.
So the Sawtooth Studios, has that been something that's been really helpful for you and the other artists involved in terms of having that space to not only do your thing in there, but then also open it up to the community and, as we're talking about before, it's giving that service back?
It's not a selfish thing.
Yeah.
It's being able to help.
Yeah.
Being able to help. That's what I love. This is the epitome of making it. If you can't tell me shit, I done made it, because I'm now at a position where I'm giving opportunities. I can help people make it to the next level in the game. And it's not an ego thing. This is just, it's a love thing.
Right. Well, I think it means something to be at that point where you feel like you can give something back, because
Doing what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Especially doing what you love. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real nice thing to be able to engage in, like, not even just trading skills, but just fucking paying it forward, like, because how many people spent the time with you and gave you time and gave you opportunity and gave you space?
This is what I'm saying.
Right?
We didn't get to finish this before when I was talking about coming up in the game.
Yeah.
The opportunities weren't so obvious, and now we can offer that. You know what I mean? The opportunities were not so obvious at all. And now we're in a position where 19-year-old me, we got you.
Right.
You ain't got to get caught up in all this dumb shit. You ain't got to get caught up in the fucking crime shit. You can actually follow your passion.
Yeah, you can actually see it manifest if you put in the time and a little bit of resource.
It's not a ridiculous thing that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, where I'm from, right? Like, I'm Zimbabwean, yes. And then I lived in a little place called Richmond in Sydney. And that whole Richmond, Windsor area, when I was there, hey, nobody was rapping, just me and one of the homies, Vinny. We were the only rappers there. And now there's so many people got bars.
Yeah.
So many people got bars in that area. And it feels good when people be like, man, I saw you doing it. And I was like, I can do it too.
Right. Right.
And that's what I'm all about. It's like, yeah, you can do it too. You can do it. So easy to do it.
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to something like, rap, for example, you you really, at the end of the day, you don't need really any more than pretty much what you have on your person. If you're living in 2024, the chances of you having a smartphone is huge.
Mm. Mm.
So you got a smartphone, you've got access to all of the music in the world.
Oh yeah.
Most of it essentially for free,
Mm-hmm.
So much of it you can just listen to via means that aren't,
Oh yeah.
pay to win. And then what is it? Like you're looking at once you start writing bars, I mean you either do it in the notes of your phone or on a notepad, and you're doing it. And then if you want to start getting like demos or ideas down, you've got the voice memo
Bro,
app on your phone, and then
I've been writing rhymes on my way to work.
yeah, exactly.
I got Pab V. Shout out to Pab V. He's my business partner and my producer and one of my best friends. He's amazing. Like, this dude be sending me beats left, right, and center.
Hey.
Sometimes like, oh no, I can't fuck with that. But then one day, I hear that beat again playing. I'm like, oh, I'll fuck with that. And I'll write to it. I'll be sitting on the train going to work on my phone. But that's the thing. This is the thing. Self-made millionaires and a dude on Centrelink have certain things in common. At the beginning, they all have the same amount of data.
Right.
There's no $30 gets rich people this data, and $30 gets poor people that data. Now
The data's the same.
It's the fucking same.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't get an hour more than anybody else. They got 24.
Yeah.
We all got 24 to utilize it at best and make sure that at least 6 to 8 of those are resting.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think awareness around time and how you spend and engage with it.
Resources, man.
Yeah,
time is a resource.
Yeah.
It's not
same with attention, It's like your attention and other people's attention. And what we're doing at the end of the day is asking for other people's attention.
Yeah.
And it's not in a necessarily selfish way, although certainly sometimes it can be.
It's in our soul, man. We got this thing.
I mean,
we're all connected.
Yeah,
we all got to give. We all got to connect.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, I like the idea of maybe it's more about connection than
Yeah, so,
attention.
Like everybody wants and needs and deserves to be appreciated.
Yeah, to be seen.
Yeah.
And heard.
And this is the absolute truth. And when we don't get that, it's a weird thing. That's why some people will bully, some people will lie, some people will steal, but
right,
they're trying to get that.
They're all trying to get the same thing. Yeah, they're all trying to have a better sense of connection to
that. They're trying to get that. Even the serial killer is trying to be seen.
That's true.
I'm not in no way justifying brutality. I'm not in no way justifying lying.
Of course.
I am just pointing at human nature.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting example. Like a lot of serial killers actually, it may not necessarily be a cry for help, but it's a cry for something.
They want to be recognized.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit of a look at me. I need to be seen.
You know what? You know what's the worst thing we could do to Jack the Ripper? Is not talk about him.
Yeah, right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Not mention him.
Yeah. Because, wiped it from the collective memory.
Fame, infamy are two sides of the same fucking coin.
Hey.
You know what I mean? black is white, white is black, up is down, down is up.
As above, so below.
Yeah, everything is the same. Like, and it's very crazy that when I started to see that life has been totally not different but open.
Yeah.
Life is very open. I see a lot of things in life. I see a lot of doors. I see a lot of things. And even in human nature, there is no good or bad people. There's just people capable of
all of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
The Pope will fucking murder viciously if he is put in a position to.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether he has to defend himself or somebody else who's loved, loved one or
whatever.
whatever it is.
We don't know what his tick is. Maybe he doesn't love
yeah.
his people as much as he says he does.
Yeah.
But maybe it's his money.
No, yeah. Anything that's at value that's put at risk.
Could be even his fucking hair. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Sure.
We don't know. That's, yeah, man. Like, so that is life.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Love everybody. Like I said, I done time, and for 3 years of my life, when you do time, like I'm not talking like 3 months, 6 months. I'm talking like when you actually get to be there, like spend Christmases and birthdays in there.
Mm.
It's a different thing. It's a totally different thing. I was with the worst of the worst, but we loved and looked out for each other.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's still a space filled with human beings.
Just because somebody's killed somebody, I realized, I learned, it doesn't make them a bad person.
Right.
It's just, they were in a situation. Some people love their girl so much that when they find out that she's fucking another dude,
their world's destroyed. The reality is destroyed.
And they go kill that dude.
Yeah.
That dude has to die. I don't justify, believe in that logic, but I see it.
Right. It's not something that you necessarily would choose, but you can see.
I see it.
Yeah.
This guy had invested his whole being into this person.
Yeah.
And this person betrayed her for that other person. That person had to go. It's like, it's fucking crazy. Like,
well, that's, it's almost a reaction to the ego reset that we're talking about before, when, like, I guess that is the universe humbling you in an incredible way, for the person who you're, so in love with, and for that reality and life to be compromised or shattered in front of you,
bro,
nothing really prepares you for that.
Nothing prepares you for that. Like, there's certain triggers in life that, betrayal, loss, just two little things like that's,
yeah,
etc. You know what I mean?
No, but betrayal and loss, I think, two of the biggest things. Betrayal is like, it's a destruction of truth.
Everything is a lie.
Yeah, right.
So you get to question even your true being's reality. You get to question that.
Yeah. The inward reflection's insane.
Mm. And the thing is, you gotta let people be people, bro.
Yeah, because you can't control them.
You can't control them, and at the same time, you gotta understand there is something. There's something that's happening between all of us.
Right, it's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Yeah.
My bro, I always said this. Life is, we're all looking at the same thing. The same thing. But you're sitting there. Somebody's sitting there. So the best way I can explain this, right, is like, there's this block. Right, but like, and you got some people. So this block is colored. One front is blue, one front is red, one front is black, one front is white. if you ask some people, what are we looking at? They'll say, we're looking at a big black block. You ask some people, what are we looking at? Some people say, we're looking at a big white block. Some people say, big red, big blue.
Yeah. Just hold it up.
They're not wrong.
Yeah. Shit, the lighting is just different or
That's
whatever.
what they're looking at.
Yeah.
It could be the lighting.
Whatever the fuck.
And the best way to understand this big block is not to like
This mic up to
not,
the-
it's not to doubt yourself, but just shift. Let me see. Let me sit over there.
Yeah.
Let me see what you see, fam.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna get that until we get grounded.
Right. Yeah. Common ground. That's
Or
what.
like.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, I'm not just saying that because we're here, right? It's like,
yeah.
me and my bro, we get grounded on a fucking regular.
Yeah. True.
Like, you know what I mean? We touch base. We see each other. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that means that we see closer to what the same potential color is, maybe. But
every now and again, he gets to sit on my side of the block.
right.
But then we don't just do it with each other. I got people that see the world from the red side of the block.
Yeah.
I go see them.
Yeah.
I go see them. I go see life from this side of things.
Yeah.
I don't dismiss.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we don't dismiss. And you're the same because I've seen how you move and what you do. You're not judging. You're not, you know, I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think you're so right. I mean, in the sense of everybody's witnessing or experiencing essentially the same thing. And the difference between what we're all seeing isn't that much. I think a way to explain it is we're all seeing more of the same thing than we are a different thing. I think that our own like personal memory and sensory influence or perspective is not that different to anybody else's,
No.
you know, in the sense of it. Like,
That's
the biggest difference truly is experience and then the different journeys, but
everybody is beautiful
hard.
in their own way.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. That's what I got to learn being in prison. It's like, yeah, man, you may have killed 3 people, but
There's still beauty inside of
beauty
you.
in you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I needed some bread, and then you came through.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
This is a huge idea. Like, the idea is that there's something beautiful or holy or whatever it is inside of everyone. Like, you know, I think the translation of Namaste, for example, is I honor the divine within you. It's the same divine that's inside of you, is inside of me, is inside of everyone, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like you know why people go like you know why they go like that. It's not like prayer hands.
Right.
It's I've read this in a book. It's basically they imagine that they hold this so this mic is a rose, and they're saying a flower for you, a Buddha to be,
Right.
because we're all God.
Right.
We're all gods.
Yeah.
Like, not even gods. No, I don't want to say we're all gods because that makes us separate. But we are all God.
Yeah.
We're all God. God isn't like every religion will tell you the one thing. God isn't everything. Everything.
That's true.
God is in you. God is in me. God is in everything.
Yeah.
You know.
The TV, the rock.
And God. And when you live life from deep,
Yeah.
from the heart, when you're actually living it from deep within.
Yeah.
So when you're living life from deep within,
Yeah.
you get to realize that, you know.
Well, that's the connection. That's where you feel that fucking connection, right?
That connection,
Yeah.
that is your connection with everything. That is where life is happening. God is in everything. You know, there is similarity. There's patterns.
Yes.
Something that can't be denied.
Yeah, universal truths.
universal codes, universal maths,
Yeah.
and every single thing that exists
Right.
that suggests that there's something else that's powering it.
Yeah.
You can't deny. You can't deny. God is real. You know what I mean? And I don't say it as in, like, I mean, they might imagine me to look like you with a beard.
Some goofy guru. No, like
hang on.
No, that's how I see myself.
Hang on. Like, you're a god. You're a king.
Hey,
You're my brother.
appreciate it,
You
man.
know what I mean? Like,
Hey.
we all kings. But
Yeah.
bro, this grounding session been a long time coming. Hence why it's a bit longer, people.
Yeah, well, actually, surprisingly, not really too much longer. I mean, it's almost average, but yeah, certainly long overdue. But keep this in mind. 2 years ago, when I did the initial round of grounding on Twitch, you were one of the first people on that stream. So in my mind, you had been on it, but this is the new wave and movement of the Grounded with DillyDave podcast. And yeah, so happy for you to
Man.
be back on it, man.
Bro, you know what I see? Next one, you're going to have a studio set up,
Yeah.
and you're going to be like, you coming to the studio? But I'll be like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I
well,
mean? Yeah.
that's pretty close to what it is. So we've had 2 or 3, like I'm not going to do this podcast with everyone in their joint, but it's such a, we're so comfy hanging out here. It's just a good space for us. But big ups to one of my co-producers, Atlas, who works at Brick Lane Brewery, and he's got a container bar in the Queen Vic Market where we've been
Shout
recording
out.
some of the shout out Brick Lane. And Atlas.
I'll put the link in the bio.
Oh, we'll put that link in that bio.
Yeah.
And essentially it's a bar in a container in a shed, and we have been recording in there. Kind of after hours, nobody's there, but we get to sit there at the bar, have a drink, and just fucking chat. So that's better than a studio feel, I think, because it's simulating or recreating this fucking, we're
There's
at a
something
bar,
happening
we're at a
here.
show, there's something happening here, instead of just like, oh, we're in the studio having a,
The
Right.
studio's dope, like Breakfast Club and all that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But okay, a bar is like, what's going on here?
yeah, this,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, because when I see people sit in the studio, yeah, you're right. Because like when I see people sit in the studio, I'll probably be like, it's a podcast interview.
right, exactly.
Like if I see people sitting in the bar,
They're having a fucking chat.
I
And
think-
that's all we're doing, we're just having a fucking chat.
85% of videos on Instagram get watched on silent.
That's crazy.
So that's why having that and like something
Yeah, just
different.
fucking vish. Yeah, just,
what are they doing?
where are they flying? All right, well, thanks again for being back on. I'm sure this won't be
There's gonna be plenty of times.
the last time. Anything quickly that you want to point the audience towards, your own socials or anything for them to keep an eye out for?
Okay, so I'm working with my boy DJ Dano on something
Hey.
special. DJ Dano is an OG in the game.
Massive shout outs.
OG. And we got Danny Dibb,
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Allison by South.
Powerful.
Allison by South's got a beautiful voice. Man, yo. Check these 2 people out. Just go on Spotify, type Danny Dibb or type Allison by South. DANNDIB. Allison by South. Type those 2 names in there. You will not regret it. Anyway, we got some special coming on. Yep, we definitely got something special happening.
Sick.
So it's gonna be beautiful.
Cool. Massive collabs. Check out Pettikash and all his socials and platforms and Spotify,
And I've got
etc.
something coming with the boy legend too.
Oh, he's snapping up all the golden childs, the children of Melbourne. That's massive. Pettikash always making huge moves. Thanks for helping us all stay grounded today. So that is it for another episode of Grounded with DillyDave. It is your Milky Bar
Thank
Kid,
you.
right here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank
guys.
you, thank you.
And as always, fuck Nestle.
Oh, yeah, oh, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Out.
Oh shit.